I can't let them take my soul. Nah, 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 no. Oh, I can't let them take my soul. Nah, 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 no. See, we was cool right before it hit the fence, but it hit the fan when I got him down at the bench. When I took a break, I had to leave and go get cleansed. God forgive me for all my sins. I can't say these hoes, cause my last name ain't Kent. Cooking on the stove, that's the way he paid the rent. Working on the pole, that's the way she paid tuition. Better watch your soul, cause you know they trying to get it. Yeah, yeah. I learned my right from wrong on the song. I let my heart bleed on my sleeve through microphones. I'm trying to right my wrongs by writing out my wrongs. Ran through a check, cause it's hard to live off bread alone. So if you see me slipping, yeah, let me know. Cause it ain't the end of times yet, I know, but it's getting close. Yeah, I need my space to breathe.
What's happening, family? It's CozeeTV. If you don't remember me, I am from Score Bigger Dating as well as The Rabble. But tonight is the very first show for This Is What I Think. From, as you can see, our Black media. I've been blessed to be invited to host the very first episode of This Is What I Think. I will have the first Mondays of the month. The second Monday will be Jermaine Oliver. Third, Keyshawn Housey. The fourth will be Rashida Edwards. And the fifth month, if we have one, fifth Monday, if we have one in that month, will be our youth. And her name is Eden Mervin. So listen, welcome. And I want to say happy Labor Day. Those of you that had a day off, I hope you enjoyed it. And I also want to add that Labor Day was founded by a Black man, James Patterson Green, out of Ohio. He submitted a bill. They approved it. They made it statewide as a holiday. And now, of course, we know it's federal. So I just wanted to start off with that, a little Black history. So again, welcome. Can y'all tell I'm nervous? I am, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to push through. All right. So for the first episode, I always feel like it's important for the viewing audience or anyone that I speak to know who it is they're talking to. So I'm going to treat this a little bit like a therapy session. The first time you go into therapy, they don't care about what your plans are. They don't care about what you're going to have for dinner tomorrow. They care about everything that happened behind you. They want to know about your parents. They want to know about they want to know everything back there because it explains to them who they're looking at right now today. So quickly, I'm going to give you an elevator speech, if you would. And that is, I'm 58, native of New Jersey. I am the baby of 5 girls. Hold on to that. You're going to need it later. I'm thrice divorced. I'm not ashamed of it. I just want you to know who you're talking to, and I want to get ahead of any negative things that you may hear about me. All right. So thrice divorced, a mother of 2, girl and boy, and a grandmother of 1. Unfortunately, but triumphantly, I suffer from clinical depression as well as ADD. I'm going to take my glasses off because of the glare. But my goal in life is 2 things: to help free my people from the stigma of mental illness. And by mental illness, that could be schizophrenia, that can be autism, that can be bipolar. It's any illness or dis-ease, not just disease, but dis-ease that lives in between the ears. Okay? They always said that the hardest problem for a doctor to solve is the one that resides in the middle of the patient's ears. But we're going to deal with that. That's my goal. Also, my second goal in life is to bring my people closer to justice. There's 2 words that I love: constructive and productive. And I believe that every interaction we have with each other, I don't care if we're just going to Chick-fil-A to grab a chicken sandwich, we order, nod to each other, acknowledge each other. Just, you have to say hello and want to know about how my day was. That's not important. Just a nod is just enough to say, I see you, I acknowledge you, I respect who you are. It's really, really just that simple. Now I need my glasses because I have some things that I wrote down. My daughter told me, Ma, nobody cares about all of that stuff. Well, when I see people on TV or in the movies, I am interested in their life because it helps me understand better who they are. I used to buy tons of biographies, but then when the Biography Channel came out with their show, I got to look and see, oh, that's okay. That's why Eddie Murphy behaves like that. Oh, Marilyn Monroe. Oh, okay. So she was this, that. So again, it helps me land my plane better with the person. And so I'm going to give you a little bit of that. I already talked about me being the baby of five. I am 58. I wrote some of these things out. My parents, which again is important. My dad is from Corinth, Mississippi. My mom from Sunbury, North Carolina. They were born in 21 and 28, respectively. So I'm a 66 baby, which means my parents were 38 and 45 when they had me. So I come from solid, seasoned, mature parents. They were married 46 years when my dad died. So I consider myself coming from a little bit of stability, right? So it helps me a little bit in life, and unfortunately, sometimes it hurts because those certain people will judge that, and it kind of makes the playing field a little bit unlevel. But we're going to move on from that. I just want you to have a little bit of history with that. If you can do me a favor, I created a page. It still is in its infancy. It's called Black Polar on Facebook. One word, Black Polar. There's another Black Polar out there, but I think it'll be clear which one is mine. If you could join it, if you can share it, if you can like it. The target goal again is Black people who suffer from mental illness. Doesn't matter what it is. It's not a place to come and be judgmental or nosy. It's a place to come and be free, for us to tap into one another, for us to understand and to dig one another. That's our goal. So with that being said, let us move on. I sound like young Pharaoh. With that being said, he says it like 8 times on his show. Here's some things that I love. I fancy pizza. Brolic. I fancy pizza. I love Thai food, any Thai food. Seafood I love, except for conch. I'm highly allergic to that. So if you ever were thinking about taking me to dinner, not on a date, but just to get to know who CozeeTV is, those would be your options. All right. I fancy tail of pork. I don't have any right here. I normally do. But that tail of pork be important. All right. My favorite go-to meal is, you ready for this? Frosted Flakes with evaporated milk. Not regular milk. It has to be evaporated milk. And it has to be quick. Those of you that bake, you know evaporated milk is pretty thick, right? So it sounds like V8. That is like music to my ears, all right? Also, what do I like? I love roller coasters. My father kind of broke me in very early, as I broke my children in very early, to not be afraid. And that happened at Rye Beach. Those are my northerners, you know, Rye Beach. I happen to be overweight, and I'm going to talk about that. Ladies, if you're with me, we tend to be overweight when we are not dating. There's a reason for that. We kind of don't care. We throw caution to the wind, right? But when we're dating, we're conscious of what we're eating. We're spending more time out and about with him, doing things. We're more mobile. And again, as I said before, we are a bit more conscious of what we eat. So that's where the weight loss comes in. So obviously I'm not dating. That will happen soon. I'm calling it out. And let's see. I'm a lover of words. 4th grade, I fell in love with a book called In Other Words. I didn't know there was such a thing where you can have a word and there is another word, not a synonym, but another word that you can use in place of it. So I fell in love with that book. And one of the things I would do in my boredom is just read the dictionary. I just read it. And again, I fell absolutely in love with words. One of the things I'd like to share with my people, when you're researching a word, don't just rely on the dictionary. Don't just rely on the dictionary. Go to the etymology of the word or the origin of the word. That gives you a bit more history. The dictionary typically tells you about today what that word means, but words change. It's a living language, unlike Latin, which is a dead language. No other words are going to be added or taken away from the Latin language. So language is important. Words are important. That's why they call it spelling, because they can put a spell on you with words. Okay, that's why they don't allow us to talk in the courtroom, because we're like infants in the courtroom. Lawyers speak for us because they speak a whole different language, legalese, right? We don't know that. In 2014, well, actually, it's time for us to do something. No, not yet. In 2014, guys, I had a lifestyle change, if you would. 10 years ago, I said bye-bye to religion, and I freed myself from the bondage. If you can see, I have my hands behind my back. If you look up the etymology of the word religion, it means to bind back. I don't want to be bound unless it's my choice. So, after watching a wonderful documentary, my ex, even though we were no longer a couple, she thought that this documentary, Hidden Colors, was so good, Lori, you'd appreciate it. And so I watched it, and it absolutely changed my life. It's not anti anything, but it's pro African history. It's pro who you are. It teaches you about the very first civilization on earth, and that is Egypt, not the Garden of Eden. It's Egypt, right? That's you, that's me, and everyone comes from that civilization. It's true, it's real, and even their scientists agree and confirm that. Okay, so once I learned that and I walked into that, I had a whole different consciousness. Things that I absorbed from that documentary started to come alive. Things that were there all along, I started to pay attention to symbolisms, right? Symbols that were there all my life for centuries, but now I know how to interpret that symbol. So again, I beg y'all, please, if you can't, check out Hidden Colors. There's a few ways you can purchase it. Just go to hiddencolorsfilm.com or just type in Hidden Colors. You can maybe find it on the internet, or if you have a Fire Stick, you can find it under cinema. You can find it under cinema and just type in Hidden Colors. And my friend did it last week, and he found it, and they're all just sitting right there waiting for you. All right, yo, please check out Hidden Colors. Please, 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 please. It's life changing. Every Black person on the planet should and must watch Hidden Colors. All right, we're going to move on from that. Can y'all tell I'm nervous? I am, but I'm going to get through it. Like car insurance, guys, I saved a ton when I changed one word with leaving religion. Instead of the S-O-N, I changed it to the U, S-U-N, the sun that's ever present. That's what I acknowledge. I don't worship anything. Nothing is my Lord and Savior. There's no need for any of that. There's nothing in the sky. Sky daddy. No. Throw all that away. Religion is man-made. It's someone's idea of who and what they think God is. You're bigger than that. There's a God in you. Acknowledge and honor that. If you want to worship anything, worship and honor your ancestors who really died for you, who really shed blood for you. Okay? Again, like car insurance, I saved it a lot by changing that one letter, that 111 letter. And actually, if you look in the Bible, it says the sun The sun. Look it up. Look it up. Look it up. I'm going to move away from that. All right. One of my favorite scholars, his name is Dr. John Henrik Clark. He's an ancestor now. But he said, Black people, we have no friends. We have no allies. We've got to save ourselves. And I truly believe that with all my heart. There are many ways we can do that. In the Wednesday show, we talk about some of the solutions, and there are many. If there's 5 of us on the show, we probably could come up with 20 solutions. We haven't talked about 20 solutions each, but we could. If we sat down, pen and paper, there are many things we can do to not necessarily solve our problems, but bring us closer to justice. If not one person in a room of 100 doesn't have justice, none of us have justice. So let's deal with that. Let's make every step, breath that we take intentional and deliberate in bringing our people closer to justice. If we can't agree on anything, let us agree on that. It's really, really simple. The work is going to be hard, but it's really, 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 really simple. I think we're past our break moment. I'm going to turn it over to you, Julius. Let's take a quick break, y'all.
Hello, I'm Richard Coleman, and I'm running for the office of Sheriff of Chatham County. And when I'm elected, I promise to inspect what I expect. Chatham County, it's time for a change, and that change is me, Richard Coleman.
As y'all can see, living here in the South is a wonderful thing because most of the dignitaries or high offices are Black people, and that is a good and a healthy thing. So yeah, there's that. I have so many pieces of paper here, y'all. So bear with me. I got to get my breathing right. Bear with me. Let's see. I already talked about Africa. Let's stay in Africa for a minute. Africa is not the name our people, the original inhabitants, gave Africa. They put that name on there. But the original meaning, or the original name of Africa, is Al-Kebulon, Alkedbluan, Al-Kebulon, and it means mother of mankind. Here's another thing that it means, which is oh so beautiful to me: the Garden of Eden. Al-Kebulon is one word. Look that up for me, y'all, because I'm gonna have some homework. If you come back next month, test you. Also, the whole continent of Africa, not just the country in Ethiopia that we know in the northeastern part of it, all of Africa at one time was called Ethiopia. I guess you know who changed that as well. It was also called Ortigia, Ortigia, Cafe, Cafe, which we know, coffee, brown, right? Libya, and of course now Africa, or Africa, depending on who you ask, which means sunny and fertile. Y'all heard of the Moors, right? Some say blackamoor, but the word Moor itself means just that, black. Egypt means land of the black. Kemet, Kush, they all mean black. So learn about our history. Not, you notice I said history. I know the word, and the English pronunciation is history. I don't like to say that because I feel like I'm giving credit to them. They interrupted our history when we were brought over here. Now, some of us were already here. Here's another homework assignment I need for y'all to look at. The name of the book is called Before They Were Here, or Before Columbus something like that. His name is Ivan Van Sertima, Sertima. Homework, y'all. Not all of us were slaves. There are some of us that were here already. Don't forget, Africa was just one big landmass. Not even Africa, excuse me. The globe, the planet was one big landmass, right? Centuries ago, thousands of years ago, millennium ago. And through freeze and thaw, freeze and thaw, freeze and thaw, it broke up, right? So if you ever look at a globe or at a map, it almost looks like you could put those pieces of puzzle together. It's back into a round ball. We call that the Pangea, Pangea, Pangea. Pan means all or everything within a circle, like when you have a frying pan, or when we had COVID a few years ago. I'm not allowed to say that word. It wasn't just an epidemic. That's in the United States. It was an epidemic, right? But then it became a pandemic when it affected other countries, right? Once it goes across an ocean, it's a pandemic, right? Who's texting me while I'm live? So yeah, we're not going to go too deep into a history lesson on geography, but when that happened and things broke up, now the natural inhabitants are everywhere. Australia, Asia, Japan, all over. People who look like us. If you travel anywhere in this world, if you go up deep into the mountains or low into the valley and say, I like to see the natives. Most of them are hidden away because they look like this or darker with nice, coily, curly, not nappy, coily, curly hair. And why do we have coils in our hair? You pull a strand out and it's round and round and round and round. Do you know our people, with this coily, hair is like an antenna. It speaks right to the universe. That's how powerful you are. Our hair, which defies gravity, right? It defies gravity. Some others, their hair just, there is no gravity. You want it to curl, you have to literally put a perm rod in there and curl it, right? So Black women, men too, when we perm our hair, we lose that power. I've done it for many, many years. When we perm it, that power is gone. Natural hair, just like an antenna that speaks directly to the universe. Get your power back. All right, y'all? Get rid of that crack, as they call it, cream crack. We don't need that anymore. Be our natural selves. Can you imagine how much money our community will save if our Black women, men too, just exercise their confidence in their own beauty? People who want to look like us every day. We already have that. But you want bone straight hair. I'm guilty. I've done it. Walk in your crown of glory, Black women. Take your crown back. All right, we're going to move on. Are we there for? Nope. We have a little bit more time before we take our second break. What else are we going to talk about? Back in Africa, there was no religion. Again, religion is man's interpretation of who and what he or she believes God is. We don't need that, especially people who look like us. We are the originators, right? As my man Richard Penniman, who we know as Little Richard, I am the architect. We are the architects of this. All right, we are the architects, right? Don't let anyone take that away from you. Don't trade the United States of America, which we built. Even Trump acknowledged that we built this. Don't trade that for a continent. We love the United States of America. We appreciate what we built here in the United States of America, and I won't let you take that from me. My ancestors' blood, sweat, and tears was shed on this soil so that immigrants, because we're not immigrants, we were brought here, but we were brought here against our own will, not Did we choose paperwork to come here? There's a difference. That's why we, Black Americans or foundational Black Americans, are the only ones that cannot be thrown out of this country. Did you know that? All others that immigrated here, they could be thrown out whenever the United States government feels like it. Let's go back to Africa. Y'all bear with me. Bear with me. There's so much I want to share with you. I got to be cool and take my time with it, right? I have to use logic and wisdom when doing that. I do want to shout out, even though I do not believe in Christianity or any religion anymore, I want to shout out my first home, which is the AME Zion Church. Born, bred, and fed. You will always have my love. I just sent my sister something today. She's my beneficiary, one of my beneficiaries. And I told her, don't forget, my daughter gets this. And my church home, Varick Memorial AME Zion Church. Shout out to James Varick. They absolutely will receive something from me upon my death, because that is my home. Regardless of what it is, I believe now I love Varick, and you cannot take that away from me. You shan't. What else do we have here? What else can I tell you about Lori, the person you're a CozeeTV, as they call me here, in sunny Georgia? What else can I tell you about me so that you understand who and what it is you're looking at and who you're listening to? Simple gal. Anybody that knows me knows Cozee is a very simple girl. Look, I'm simple. My car is simple. My home is simple. I'm a very simple girl. I appreciate that, because with my illness, I can't deal with fussy. It has to be simple in order for me to stay in a quiet, safe, minded place. Let's see. Y'all help me now. Can somebody put a question or something in there so I can get away from myself? Also, guys, when y'all look up Hidden Colors, remember, it is not Hidden Figures. It is not Hidden Figures. That's the beautiful movie about Black women with the mathematic formulas to go into outer space. All right. Hidden Figures, beautiful movie, but this is Hidden Colors, which is a documentary. Okay. I recommend 1 through 4. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I promise you, you're going to want to tell all your family and friends about it. But my daughter would have friends come over after school or on the weekends. Miss Larry, can we so-and-so? Yeah, you want an ice pop? You want this? Sure, have a seat. But you're going to watch Hidden Colors. Sure, you can come over, but you're going to watch Hidden Colors. And some of them, Miss Lori, I want to show this to my mom. Can I borrow this? Sure. Miss Lori, this is good. Tell me more about it. Sure. And I'll just send them to where they can go and get it. It is just that powerful, I promise you. Excuse me. Let's see. Me, simple gal. But guess what? We have a commercial. Julius, you're available for the next commercial break? Hold tight, folks. I'll be right back.
Need your garments cleaned with care and with a professional touch? Then bring them to One Price Cleaners in Garden City at the Old Farmers Market on Highway 80. Service you can count on.
As you can see, we highly support Black businesses in the local Savannah area. If you have any business that you'd like to promote, just drop us a line, and the owners of the business will help you navigate through that. The prices are fair. I guarantee you that. We need to support this network, and all Black networks, but in particular, this one. Okay. Also, when you go to Black Polar, please like, subscribe, share it. This page, please also, excuse me, y'all, allergy season. Please like, share, and subscribe as well. We want to grow as many Black-owned channels as possible. Okay, we need to get out our own information through our own vision and our own thoughts and tone. All right. Listen, folks, I ran out of things to tell you about myself. What I do invite, I see right here on Facebook, I'm live. If you have any questions, you see there's my Cash App right there. I answer questions on Cash App. So if I'm even doing, he's like, hey, baby, can I get your number? No, but I'll give you my Cash App. So if you have any questions for me, send them there. Or those of you that already have my inbox on Facebook or have my phone number, text me. I'd love to hear your questions. I'd love to hear your solutions too. What can we do to bring the Black community closer to justice? What can we do? I like to call my list no bullets. Here's a portion of my list that we talked about on our Wednesday show, which again is called the rabble. And the rabble only means unruly people chopping it up, building, as they say. All right. So here's my quick list of what I think some of the strategies or solutions should and could be. Trades. If we can get our young people back into the trades. Someone said not long ago, we need to steer our young people away from jobs or careers that can be replaced by robots. What can't be replaced by a robot? Plumbing, electrician. I mean, they can get a robot to run wires, pipes, and things like that. But if there's a problem, you need a human to adjust that. You need hairstylists. You need people to work on heavy equipment, HVAC, boiler makers, elevators, utilities, roofing. Of course, we're going to need masons. That goes all the way back to Egypt, masonry, right? Roofing, welding, all of those disciplines and trades. We need our young people to focus on some of those things so that we can penetrate areas that go back to our ancestors when they had to create and invent things because they had to. They say invention is the mother of necessity. If you don't need it, you don't have to invent it. But if you need it and it's not there, you have to invent it. City government is another area that I think our young people should focus on. Things like city inspectors, fire, police, dispatchers, tax assessor's office, tax sales office, permitting, zoning, ordinance. Even if they're not interested in those careers, attend your city hall meetings. You need to know what's going on where you're paying taxes. Also, if they're in any of these areas, they have their pulse. Their fingers are on the pulse of what's going on in the city. So they can perhaps give us a heads up of what's happening or what's going to happen so we can get in front of some changes that may affect us, good and bad. Excuse me. I can't show you all. That's good. Allergy season, real estate. That's why the universe calls it real. God ain't making no more. Ain't gonna be no more land. This is it. That's why it's called real. There's No more land is going to be made or created. It might be cleared and grubbed. No more land is going to be created. Get yourself a piece. We need some more real estate agents out there. We need lending agents out there. Of course, we need teachers, people to return back to the arts. When I was coming up, we had home ec. Like booty and cookies was. We had home ec. We learned how to do dishes. There is a proper way to do dishes. And I still follow that to this day. My daughter just moved into her first apartment, right? And we're on FaceTime. We can't get the dishwasher to work. Go back to the old school, Shy. Put them in the sink. Get you some detergent. Boom. And she's like, I actually like that. Yeah. Because sometimes we pull stuff out of the dishwasher. It's still not done all the way. Hotel, restaurant management, human resources, parks and recreation. We need young people in those areas. If imagine if our young people attack's not the right word. What if our young people went into policing strongly, like thousands of them? You can't deny all those applications. We have to penetrate it somehow, right? We can change the culture and the reputation of policing. Just keep your nose clean so that you can always apply for those jobs and be considered, right? They like to weaponize a lot of the things that when you and I were growing up, you had a fight, wiped off dirt and blood, and you went home. Now, if you have a fight, the police are involved at the school, weaponizing simple things that are a part of growing up. Fighting is not good, but it is a part of the maturing process. Someone mentioned on the show Wednesday, a couple weeks ago, he said, functional organization. I didn't know what that meant, but he used church as an example. And we do have functional organizations in our communities. Since they are already established, why don't we recruit them, work with them, so we can help our young people navigate and change the trajectory of their lives and ultimately change the trajectory of us getting closer to justice. Justice, justice, justice. Someone also mentioned us banning degrading media. I think we all agree on that, right? There's no other group on the planet that allows their youth to be trendsetters, to be influencers of this filth. My goodness, there are no other groups on this planet, groups, races, you name it, that allow their young people to get paid oodles of money to compromise not just themselves, but our youth. How can we change that? I grew up on PE. I grew up on The Chicken Tastes Like Wood, Rapper's Delight. I grew up on things like that where it was fairly innocent. Our parents thought that, what is this crazy rap music you kids are talking about? And then later, hip hop. Well, now we have this. It went from rap to hip hop to what I now call shit hop. It's crap and it's garbage. We do know that be careful. There's a certain group that runs that industry. They don't want you talking about fight the powers that be. They don't want you talking about unity, positivity, unity. They don't want to hear that from Queen Latifah or anybody. Excuse me. They pay our young people tons and tons of money to talk about unaliving, drugs, sex, violence, all of those sickening things that bring down the value of our community. And it affects other communities too, because music is influential across the board. But it's mainly our young people that have been affected and infected with this. Julius, is it time for us to take a break? That's our engineer and my partner in crime. 4125. I don't know what else to tell y'all. Y'all need to send me some questions, even if you text me questions, thoughts, even if it's criticism. I'll take that. There's nothing you can say to hurt me. I'm open to all of it. I really, really am. I wish I had more prepared to say to you. I actually did. Look, I had 16 of these, and I went through them all. Again, this show comes on Mondays. If there are 5 Mondays out of the month, it will be dedicated to the youth. Her name is Eden Mervin. CozeeTV will have the first Monday, 7 p.m. Second Monday belongs to Jermaine Oliver. Keyshawn Housey will have the third, and the fourth month is committed to Rashida Edwards. Don't just come for CozeeTV. Support our young people. So all young people, I'm probably the senior of the bunch, but that's okay too. We need wisdom and we need fruit. Together, we're going to make us better and stronger and more wiser. So again, CozeeTV the first Monday, Jermaine Oliver the second Monday, Keyshawn Housey third, Rashida fourth, and that youth, if we have a fifth Monday in the month, it will be dedicated to Eden Mervin. Please stay close and connected to this company, to this broadcast, to this network, Our Black Media, all things relevant. We really, really need your support. We can't grow without you, without listeners, without supporters, without commercials, without sponsors. We can't do this. So we need you. We need you. We need you. We need you. Julius.
Hey there. Are you ready to amplify your voice and embrace your passion? Tune in to Our Black Media Network, where community comes first and every story matters. We're here 24/7, delivering powerful content on everything from financial literacy to the latest in sports and mental health. We are unapologetically real, reflecting the heartbeat of our community with programs that inspire, empower, and drive change. Join us on all major media platforms to celebrate our unique voices and advocate for the change we want to see. With over 50K monthly viewers, our network is your go-to destination for authentic, engaging content. Be a part of the movement. Be a part of the change. Tune in to Our Black Media Network today and let your voice be heard.
Also, young people, welcome back, by the way. Young people, please go to Our Black Media Network and you can see all of the shows. I believe there are, I don't know, maybe 20 different shows under this one network. Please check them out. I'm sure you'll appreciate it. Right now, we have 539 watchers. Right now, we have 107 likes. I want to see some hearts. I want to see some love out there. Guys, during the break, I had to go and get them. Allergy season, I get affected the spring and in the fall. So y'all excuse me one moment. I want to be right and tight when I come and talk to you all. Again, Wednesday nights, the show that I'm now on, 7 to 9 p.m., excuse me. It's called The Rabble. And we rabble, don't we, Julius? We rabble, but in a good, healthy, and productive and constructive way. Even when it gets a little warm and heated, we end up still being mature, emotionally intelligent, and regulate ourselves to bring it back to what the goal is. The goal is for us to have good, productive and constructive shows. Also on Friday, the show that I'm on called Score Bigger Dating. To get to its page on Facebook, just type in scorebiggerdating.com, one word, not World Wide Web. Don't go there. Go on Facebook, click that search icon, and one word, scorebiggerdating.com. Okay. The mantra for that show is dating plus sports equals fun. But we're not close to those that are married. We have couples on sometimes, and it's really just a passion and a love for, again, sports, dating. Things can get a little rated R sometimes. If I'm on the show, it's rated X, because that's what I do. That's who I am. I talk openly and freely about not just my 3 divorces, of which I take full responsibility for. I can say number 1 did this, I can say number 2 did this, and number 3 definitely did that. And I would be right. But ultimately, I'm the common denominator. I'm responsible for the demise of those relationships. Thankfully, we're all on speaking terms. There's no animosity. If there is, I can't see it. And we have working relationships because of our children and grandbabies. So it's all good. But yes, we talk openly about sex on that Friday night show. It gets very good. It gets, it's good. It's a good show. The host of that show is Razzle Dazzle. And we have about 6 or 7 regulars. But again, it's a Friday night. People have lives. They have things to do. But I'm going to say there's about 14 of us, and interchangeably we come in and out, and it's very interactive. We get great comments. We get high viewership. It seems to get higher and higher and higher each week. And again, we are open to questions too. We can't do this by ourselves. Even if it's 9 or 10 of us on the show, we still need your help and support. We all can't think of everything. We need you all to just write in and tell us, you know what, I think this would be a great topic. Why don't you guys cover this? Whether, on the Wednesday show, it's more about religion, politics, local, and the presidential race right now. And it's interesting because not everybody believes the same thing. We all have the same goal in mind, and that is to participate. There's 3 ways to participate. I'll let you figure that out. But the goal is to participate and to support this country. I'm not a MAGA person, but I do want to make America great again. Not back to when it was when the Constitution was. That's a different. I want that America great again. I want the America that's great again, where my grandbaby can go to school and be safe, and we not get phone calls and we turn on the news and there's another mess on the light at a school or a movie theater or a supermarket. We want to get rid of those things. All right. Second Amendment, we can't get rid of that. I believe every home should have the ability to protect themselves. We have the right to protect ourselves, and we need to support and protect that right. We're at 49 minutes, y'all. I have a few more minutes to engage with you. Again, I wish I had some questions on here. We're up to 537 viewers right now and 108 likes, and I got a heart. Somebody gave us the heart. It's not about me. It's about the show. It's about this is what I think. That is the name of this show, and I'm excited for its future. I really am. I hope to see some of you on here someday. It's going to be more and more interactive as it grows. It could grow in different directions. We don't know. We can't control that right now. But the more you add to us, the more we can add to you and the future of our Black lives. That is my goal. mental illness, Black justice. And I hope some of you share in that so we can do this collectively as a group. That the biggest threat that we don't have is unity. People talk about us all over the world. You Black people, you are wonderful. Everybody wants to be like you. You have all this, you have that, you have strength, you have the wisdom, you have all of these things, but you don't have unity. That is a problem. That's a problem. When people can come to this country, sleep 10, 12 deep in a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment, and when they move out, I've seen this in my own neighborhood. When they move out, they don't just move to another garden apartment. One at a time. What we used to do back in the day, and they still do it, but that's where the lottery system was stolen from, is of course playing the numbers, but also I forgot what that game is called. But let's say if we each 10 of us give $100, and then it goes $1,000 goes to the first person, and then you still pay $100 your next week, and so on and so on and so on. I forgot what that's called. But those things are still in place right now. But if we can bring them back to where this person starts their business, that person starts their business, instead of hair and nails, can you imagine if even 10% of us stop doing that and send some of these young people to nail school? Instead of some of these superstars having, be careful, certain entertainment venues where you can sit and eat popcorn, certain fast food joints. Those things are great because they provide jobs. It's great. Why not open a series of nail salons? You know, we like to keep our nails nice and pretty. I'm cheap. I go to Dollar Tree and do my nails myself. But you know that's a large market for Black women, or really any race, because we like pretty nails. We're going to do it. But why don't some of our people with a little bit more dough than the next person? Why not? Open up beauty schools like we used to back in the day when we had to rely on each other before integration us up. Be careful with my words. I have freedom now, y'all. I'm not bound. See, look, no more handcuffs for me. I'm not bound. I can use whatever word I choose. On this network, of course, I have to be careful and I have to respect the algorithms. But I have freedom. I can do and say whatever I want, so long as I do not affect or infect anyone else, and that my intention stays in the right place. Right? Even with the N word, the B word, it's all about intention. I'm going all over the place. For those of you that know me, you know that this is just me. I'm all over the place. But somehow I land my plane when it's necessary, and I take the luggage off one piece at a time. One piece at a time. Here's another piece of homework for y'all. We only have 5 minutes left. I need y'all to look at Africa, right? And tell me what some of those names are. You can remember, yes, write them down. If you can tell me next week what my favorite word is, and don't cheat by hitting the rewind button. See, my favorite word is succinct, SUCCINCT, succinct. And it basically means using less words to get your same point across. Homework. Whoever wins, $5. That's a little less than a tank. $5. Succinct, SUCCINCT. Using less to say the same. What other homework do I have for you? Who's the founder of Labor Day? I don't need his name. Excuse me. I want you to tell me from what state he got the bill passed. Ready? That's a Black man. Y'all, please forgive me. All right, we need to know who he is. Excuse me. This is new. Oh, there's. I do letting it on. Let's see. What else? What else? What else? What else? I got some homework for you. I hope y'all writing some of this down. If you come and interact with me on any of these 3 shows, don't come without a pen and a pad. I'm serious about that. Social media should be used as a classroom. Yes, we all like to laugh and goof and send each other funny shit. I do too. I'm at the top of that list. But I also want to treat my social media like a classroom. My natural gift, and I hope you all look this up too. This is part of your homework as well. There's a thing called spiritual gifts. And there are many of them out there. You don't have to buy books anymore. You can just go on your search and type in spiritual gifts assessment. Spiritual gifts assessment. It's a battery of questions, and I suggest that you use the one that has the most amount of questions, because it's going to narrow in and give you the most and the best information based on your answers. I've taken 3. The first one I took was in 1997, and it blew my mind. When you find out what your spiritual gifts are, you're going to score high 1, 2, 3. My number 1 gift, the whole 3 times I've taken them, is teaching. Teaching. And there are about, some say 8, some say 12, some say 14 of the spiritual gifts. It could be carpentry, the gift of like management, gift of hospitality, again, gift of teaching, gift of help, which can be tithing, things like that. Spiritual gifts. Find out what your gift is, and then you'll think to yourself like, wow, okay, that is my gift. Now I see why people have recognized that in me for a long time. Once you know what your gift is, you can operate in it more effectively. But here's the flip side of learning what your gift is. Sometimes you can overuse your gift and be a little bit too much for people. So recognize it, know when to put the brakes on. I can always tell when my sister is like, I'm like, oh, she's tuned out, no more teaching, let me move on to something else. So again, y'all, I see we only have a minute and a few seconds left. Time to take a break. I love y'all. I'll see you next month, or I'll see you Wednesday, 7 o'clock, or Friday at 8:30. Bye. Love you.
Like that.